EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium. And tonight we start Week 5 with a primetime matchup, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
Starts the drive on the ground. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Again, it's Johnson.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
The Steelers at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 27 yards there, a first down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
They'll look to throw again. He finds his man Johnson. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Pickup of 2 brings up 2nd and goal at the Ravens' 8-yard line.
Ready? 18, right here. Dragon 60.
Back to throw. Hayden.
A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth.
And in for the Steelers, touchdown.
Pat Freiermuth.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Steelers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
He'll get this to Flowers, left side.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
You look at this Steeler defense.
In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Jackson on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 47-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. This is intercepted.
And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
This is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
On 2nd down, Kamara taking it right down Broadway. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Alvin Kamara, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
Boswell for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
Running on first down, Eckler. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now Jackson going to shift him around.
To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left.
Here's Jackson. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Loose inside the 30.
And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Justin Matabike there to bring him down.
Second and 10 at the 16-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Ravens nothing.
Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. They'll let the QB keep it here off the option.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the
from a yard out. And the Steelers take a 3-touchdown lead.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it is now 21-0.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best and don't worry about the rest of it.
On second down, Eckler. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be caught at the 30. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
Play action. It's Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Again on second and 10, it's Jackson. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson now. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete pass.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Off play action. Hayden. Over the middle. That's caught by Ridley. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Another nice gain. 13 yards that time and another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Slant pass hauled in by Campbell.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So he stopped for no gain, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. Hayden. And this is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On 1st and 10, Hayden. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Calvin Ridley A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Steelers are able to add on to their first half lead.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field.
Yo. 13.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. To throw is Jackson. And this one is incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. On second down, here's Jackson. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at the 41-yard
Ready,
line.
set. 19 Lions.
Throwing to start the drive. Hayden looking for Campbell downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable, or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
He's got his tight end Fryermuth over the middle.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
At the 21-yard line.
A final shot before break. Hayden. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers.
Deontay Johnson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes this 35-0 now.
35. Ravens nothing. Mitch Wishnowsky set to kick off.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. On the return, Devin Duvernay.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Play action. Now Jackson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Foyesade Aluakin able to record his 5th sack of the season. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
No, we changed it.
They go play action with Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Foyesade Aluakin able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Duvernay in motion. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. That one into the hands of Flowers. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. 2nd and 5. They'll run again with Harris. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 44 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
They'll try to right side with Harris. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That sort of goes without saying. That's the risk of running the option play. You can put the ball on the ground. They did there and turned it over.
So true because you've got so many different decisions that have to be made. Are you handing the ball off inside? Or are you just keeping it yourself? Are you pitching it to your trail guy? And sometimes you get caught in between and you're a little indecisive on the play and it turns into the ball on the ground. Fortunately enough, they weren't able to return it for a touchdown.
Go ahead. Hey.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Open man downfield is Duvernay. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Jackson on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time. Wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now Lamar changing the play. Now Jackson on 2nd down. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Middle. Hey.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. He'll get this to... And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Steelers. There he goes, right side. Down the right sideline. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They have certainly looked his way in this third quarter. Another catch, and it's good for a first down.
Report. Yo. 13.
Now it's Jackson.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing now, Jackson on first down.
That's caught, and it's Eckler again.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. It's a gain of 34.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down.
Batted by the linebacker, but still adjusts and makes the catch. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Eckler, oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Throwing is Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Steelers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And some room to maneuver. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
63 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Complete. Smith has it. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and now we've got a 3rd and 3. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback.
And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 2nd down, Jackson.
And that's into the hands of Eckler.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson.
That's deep for Duvernay.
And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here's Jackson.
That's into the hands of Flowers over the middle.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28. Jackson will throw again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for Pittsburgh, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.